Likewise. Good evening, Splatters. Welcome to Ludi Tonight. My name is Sofa King, captain of the Whip Rays. I could not be more excited to be on the mic for what is a super hot Week 4 set. And on top of that, I am joined by none other than Rosa Battle. How are you feeling tonight, Rose?
I'm feeling really great. It is good to be here again. I'm Rosa Battle. I am captain of Malibu Rising, and we have a really fun set between two teams in Division 9 tonight.
We do. I believe we have the Goobers versus Turn Left. Both of these teams have been darlings of the Ludi Tonight scene. If you've been tuning in to all your broadcasts, you should recognize these folks, especially the Goobers, who had an outstanding 9-game victory against Sparkling Sea just the other week. But Rose, both of these teams are undefeated. One of them, though, is kind of standing above the other. Can you tell us how good Turn Left has been so far this season?
Turn Left has not dropped a single game in this season of Ludi so far. Absolutely amazing job. They've gone 5-0 versus the Inklot Dropouts, 5-0 versus Sparkling Sea, 5-0 versus the Mystic Jaguars, and just really impressive work to go 3 best of 9s and not drop a single game. Also notable is that they are a fairly off-meta team. I know some of them do play weapons that we would maybe consider meta right now, like Range Blaster and other midlines and whatnot, but we've got somebody who plays Dynamo, and that's what they play. They play Dynamo.
I saw that, and you know what's funny? When I was doing my Sendo creeping, I think that the Goobers have a Dynamo too in the player Prince, who does some Knot, some Stamp, some Dynamo. So we could see Dynamo on either side, which is really enticing to me going into this as a fellow fan of off-meta comps.
I would love to see some off-meta shenanigans because they're really enjoyable to watch. That's one reason I really love watching low-level matches and also being in low-level myself, is that sometimes we'll just come across comps where I'm like, how is that gonna work? But then just people are able to make it work just by syncing up together and knowing this is what my weapon does best and this is what your weapon does best and this is how they can work together. And the beauty of that is that if you make an off-meta comp work, the other team might not be as comfortable playing against those sorts of weapons because they don't see them as often.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to kind of surprise people with something, right? As, we have seen Dynamo have quite a bit of success in low level. There was a Low Ink a while ago where a Dynamo and Sploosh combo was able to win. We might see 2 of them tonight. And I mean, looking at some of this other stuff that we're seeing, I am seeing a lot of Squeezer, but I'm also seeing Rainy on Turn Left, who can do Drap at Intent, also has Jet Squelcher listed. So I think throughout what we're seeing from both of these teams is a big midline presence, Rose. And I know that isn't something that's super prevalent in the meta right now, but I still think midline weapons have a huge place in how effective they can be.
They do, absolutely. I know my team from Malibu, a lot of us don't really play midline, and we've been trying to pick up midline weapons. A lot of us are frontliners at heart. And we're just like getting yelled at by our backline, being like, please, somebody pick up a midline weapon. And it's a different play style. There are some downsides to playing midline, but there are also some really strong upsides to playing midline. And if you're able to actually manage your space well and know what your weapon is good at, you can just be like, oh, what's up, Splatter Shot? I have range
playing in the room
so
here. And one player that I was curious to see from Goobers is Sunny, who does appear to be in the room. Now, Sunny can play a tri-stringer. What kind of wild card could that throw into this whole scenario?
Yeah, tri-stringer is fun. Actually, one of my teammates loves the bows. I do wonder. I know a lot of tri-stringer players have also picked up Wellstring, and Wellstring's been pretty strong. Tri-stringer, I really like the vanilla kit. I've always been a believer in Mist with the Killer Whale. You can do a lot of chip damage, especially if the Goobers end up playing some weapons that are skirmishy and like just like chip away at you, it can be really hard to stay alive, just like dying by thousands of paper cuts.
Oh, that is a tough comp to go up against, and to that point, I'm seeing a lot of blaster in these two comps as well, which could wreak havoc for that kind of chip grinded out style that we could see here. But tower control on Undertow, right? We know there's a lot of midline coming out on either side. This could be a nice dynamo map. Now, how do you set the stage? Set yourself some momentum. What's kind of the key push that a team should be looking for on this map?
Always really important in tower control in general is making sure that you're actually clearing space in front of the tower and making sure you're having the right person on tower, hopping off tower when it's getting too dicey. There are some fun things you can do with like blasters, also things like sloshers and whatnot, though I suspect we're going to see more blasters from what I'm seeing on both of these teams. Just like there are a lot of ledges on Undertow and blaster's already a really good pick on tower control, but what else do you think we'll see?
I don't know. I hope we don't see any sewer rats deep underneath Inkopolis, or... Well, I guess this would be underneath... what's the new town in Splat 3 called? The hub world that I don't go in at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't been there in ages.
Either way.
Splatsville?
Yeah, Splatsville. That's it. Underneath Splatsville. Who knows how clean the sewers are down there. We are going to be finding out very shortly. Hey. I am admittedly a fan of Splat 1 originally, so I don't know. All these new towns keep popping up. Who knows what they're called? But either way, Rose, this looks like it's going to be the group championship for this group. We've got a 3-0 team. We've got a 2-0 team. The Goobers still have a couple of games left after this one. But Turn Left, notably, outside of this match, they only have to play the team that is 0-4 in their group, which should probably be a win for them. So they are looking to lock it up here as that top spot. I'm excited to see what we're going to see.
Yeah, if they're able to get the win on the Goobers here, they can pretty safely secure a spot moving forward out of this first stage of this season of Ludi.
We are headed into game one of this terrific set. We've been theory crafting about the comps for a while. Let's see what we're going to see. We see an X-Blast coming out for the Goobers. And
there's that well string.
Turn Left. Wow, a well string. You called it. Do you think that's going to make a difference here?
Definitely that's actually going to be really great against Doofy's roller. Like, that well string is just completely kitted out for recon, so having those point sensors and a wave breaker is going to be huge for calling out where that splat roller is.
We open in neutral here with Juice ready for the side of the Goobers as Doofy on the roller. I kind of love that name. But the well string will go down. 2 will go down for Turn Left right away as Doofy's going to get juiced up, and it looks like the tower's going to be moving early on for the Goobers.
Yeah, Ranny's just like in a tough spot trying to hold there. Moving forward, they do get a pick. They're able to stop the tower from moving too far. But it's they don't really have control of it yet. It's gonna go back and forth for a little bit, but that bubbler is gonna be huge for just being able to buy them some time. Olympus is gonna have to run away, stay alive in that snipe point. Strikes are coming out already. We see a lot of people trying to start up specials. There's a lot of poking and whatnot, but no big pushes yet.
Yeah, but we do see Sunny getting in kind of a nice position here, able to take down the well string once again, finding a happy spot there. But, man, members of the Goobers are kind of going down across the board, and it looks like the patience for Turn Left is going to pay off as they're getting a push online.
Yeah, we see that Dynamo coming out on Opti's side, just sort of trying to stay alive. Still haven't been able to push past over to that checkpoint, but they are playing very patiently, like you said. And sometimes that's really all that's key, because as soon as you get that tacticooler out, just the rest of Turn Left can go wild while Olympus handles things with that well string. Clearing the tower checkpoint does go down, but it was able to get that checkpoint clear.
Yeah, well-placed Zuka from Kanai will kind of keep things somewhat even here. The Dynamo, however, kind of pinching the 2 members of the Goobers. Kanai's friend goes down, and now they're looking to scramble, trying to face down the Dynamo. That's never a good idea as Opti cleans up another one. Oh, and another member of the Goobers slides into court and will go down, and this could be a huge, huge push for Turn Left.
Yeah, and Cooler came right back out again for turn left, so even though people are going down, so long as they grabbed Cooler, they're going to come right back. Opti is still alive, clearing that last checkpoint. Then we got 2 people on the tower. They are sailing, and they do get that first game.
Terrific work by Turn Left to continue their streak of lossless Ludi gameplay as they start out this season in Div 9. They take a 1-0 lead here, but as we always like to say, Ludi sets are very long, and it gives a lot of opportunity for adjustment on either side. Rose, what do you think, if anything, either team has to change after that one?
Oh, man, that was a tough one. Opti just able to manage space really well. Really great timing of Coolers, honestly, because even when people went down on turn left, like most of the time they were coolered when it really mattered, when they were actually pushing the objective. So they just came back immediately.
Yeah, I agree. It seemed as if they were kind of playing around that cooler a little bit more often than the Goobers were, which was kind of allowing them to get these really long, sustained pushes with control here. I think prior to that, we saw a nice close fight in mid. So thinking about Rainmaker on Humpback, this is kind of a similar situation, right? It takes a while for mid and neutral to be cracked, but then once it does, this fight on the streets could go pretty quick.
Yeah, if you get that elbow and you push past that checkpoint, most commonly people are going to go right. Like, if you're able to steamroll through that, you can easily get through and get that checkpoint. I mean, honestly, I'm always telling people, no matter what lead you have on Rainmaker Humpback, do not believe that it is safe.
You are absolutely right about that. You could have it to single digits, right? And something
have to
could go wrong.
one.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that. Was it This Is Fine who had that insane bomb pick? That was one of the craziest Rainmaker Humpback games I've ever seen.
I know it was Riptide playing, and they lost that set. Yeah,
what an insane game. So I'm eager to see a good one here. Now, these teams are both a little bit more midline than some of these other matches that we've seen. So I think that it's really going to depend on who has that juice. Is the Wellstring up to provide pressure? Is there Azuka up? But I mean, I don't think we can count out the Goobers, but what is their game plan going into this one if they have to change things up?
They've got I think they had a pretty solid opening on the previous one. We'll have to see what they've still got. That roller coming in, that splat roller. No dynamo on their side. Oh. They hopefully they're able to just push through, but play patiently, and then move fast when it counts.
Looks like Sunny went with the Wellstring counter pick, and then on the side of turn left, holy smokes, that comp is slow like molasses. We call that the molasses comp with the Wellstring Dynamo tent, with your shot being the only one who can kind of up-pace people. But that is going to be a quick check break for turn left with the help of the tent. The hammer, though, rolling back out. Sunny with a nice pick, looking for 2. We'll get 2. Sunny days are ahead for the Goobers as they'll be rolling back into mid. They get another, and now they're probably looking to take the check shortly as well.
Huge for turn left that they were able to get such a really quick first check, but like it's not safe. And now the Goobers can start their own push. Cooler's out. They can start moving in. They've really got to get some specials. The Wellstring does go down. 3 members still alive. The Dynamo does go down on turn left side, which is huge. They've got a lot of paint control right now on the Goober side. Unfortunately, not able to get through and get that check, though.
So the downside, well, I guess the upside of a molasses comp and taking an early check with it is that it is hard to break in against it. As we see Ryan kind of flowing in here, their main frontline presence. Somebody will grab the reign for Goobers but get picked instantly. And you have to think with the nice Wellstring pick by Lepus and looking for another one as well. Holy moly, how did Doofy get behind you? I don't know how that happened. We'll see if Doofy is able to sneak in the rain. It doesn't look like it. That was a long flank, Rose.
Oh, man. Yeah. Wellstring is such a really, really good weapon, but good idea to flank there and just force the Wellstring to move. Doofy did go down, but even just like, I saw the point of that play. It made sense. But we see turn left is already, they're running. They're running. They've dropped the Rainmaker. It looks like they're trying to get out as fast as possible. Opti does get chased down. There's just so much blue around there. Zuka's popping out. Which way are they going to take it?
I mean, this check is right here to the left. You'd think that Kanai could have just grabbed it a little while ago, but now advantage has already flipped back. We know how quickly this game is played. You had 2 down on turn left, and you had a free check. You didn't take it. We're going to see if that comes back to bite the Goobers later.
And it could, because like you said, with this slow comp, they may not be able to move very fast, but so long as they have the lead, they have like a really good chance to just hold things. But that hammer throw was really nice.
It looks as though the Goobers are going to be looking to... Oh, here's their free check.
Oh!
Wow! Commentators curse! I didn't know that the tent was waiting right there to snipe the Rainmaker out of the sky as the check is denied once again. Rose, what do the Goobers have to do? Because they're going to need this check soon.
They do. They only have 2 minutes to get through. They do just have to get that check and then pull it a little bit farther and try to do their best to maintain the lead. But turn left, they're pushing through this elbow right now. And with the Zuka coming out, clearing space, 2 do go down on turn left side, which is huge for the Goobers. They do have a chance to get in if they can just get Ryan out of there.
Dang, Ryan, so pesky. The one fast maple syrup in this comp of molasses here. Now, that hammer from Sunny was huge in keeping that rain only to 46. An insane defensive stand there. The Goobers still have to set up. We see the Wellstring going down off screen for turn left once again. Another one being traded out. This is your time to go to kind of like take that risk and break that check while you can, because there's only a minute left. You're coolered up. You just got to dodge this Zuka. Your hammer just got another pick. Let's try and grab this rain and take some space here.
Okay. Interesting that Doofy grabs it, but Doofy is sort of pushing through, trying to clear the space ahead. Kanai's pushing up, trying to make sure nobody's going over towards the checkpoint. Looks like Doofy should be able to get the check here. That's really good. Unfortunately, their shot does go down on the Goober side. There's already a Zuka coming out on turn left side, so that's going to delay things a little bit on the Goober side. But with the hammer going out and going down, unfortunately, that might be where the Goobers have to stop for now.
I thought Sunny was going to come through again with a crazy hammer as we see Kanai trying to poke in the enemy trench there. Ooh, a nice pinch move by the Goobers to get another one. I don't know how David survived that Zuka, but the Zuka will go down. I'm presuming by the Wellstring, 3 will go down. Just a Dynamo. This looks like it could be a lead flip for the Goobers. Oh my gosh, you just have to get the lead. You have to find it now while they're all respawning. Run. And they do! Oh. Doofy squid rolling forwards through the tent shield to be able to get it to 35.
There's the hammer!
Oh my gosh. Rose, is that enough for them to win?
I mean, it's less than 10 seconds, but nobody knows what's going to happen on the Rainmaker Humpback.
As we said before, right, you never know when the other team is just going to rip off a push, but not looking too good for turn left, who lose numbers advantage, and Doofy is able to sneak over the ledge, get that roller pick, and the Goobers have told turn left, who were previously 16-0 in the season, hey, you can bleed too, as this set is tied up at 1.
Turn right has lost their first game in this season of Ludi.
Insane performance by the Goobers. Hey, I mean, we saw some good team fights. We saw some nice aggression from them. It can be so easy on this map and on Rainmaker to get impatient with how things are going. And the Goobers had plenty of opportunities to get impatient, but they didn't. They took their opportunity, they took their time, they made sure they checked their boxes, and that's why they got the dub there.
Yeah, really good work. Honestly, both teams played really well. I hate playing on Rainmaker Humpback, but I love watching
really,
Rainmaker
it's a
Humpback.
bundle of stress. I don't like it. But, you know, Zone's Mahi is a completely different game. So if we're thinking of, like, what's your win condition here, Rose, how is this one different from the one we just saw?
Yeah, obviously Zones is going to be, much more focused on paint. And it's a lot of just making sure you're holding that zone and forcing the opponent to burn through their resources. But Mahi Zones is personally my favorite map mode as somebody who really loves playing Tetras. It's like one of the places where I feel like Tetras can really pop off. And it's a map mode that's made for being scrappy. It's a delight to watch and for me to play on. And it'll be interesting because I don't think either of these teams really run anything that's like Zones cheesy in terms of Reef Slider cheeses or things like that. So we might actually see a lot of team fights as opposed to just trying to burn resources on briefly capping the zone.
I'm glad you mentioned Reef Slider, because do you like Tetris on Mahi or do you like Reef Slider on Mahi? Let's be honest here. But either way,
It's
I'm
like
just poking fun at
the
you.
one time Reef Slider works.
Oh, we see a Hydra come out. The Whip Ray in me is delighted to see the Hydra come out with what is arguably an even more molasses comp from turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that shot's going to be doing a lot of work to try to hold paint for everybody and get mobile. But Randy's pushing forward with that tent, really poking through, able to get a pick. So we do already have, and able to actually get a pick on one of the good painters over on the Goobers. They're pushing, they're honestly, like, they're molasses, but they move in together really well.
Yeah, it's like a slow-moving, massive brick wall that just seems insurmountable, is kind of how they were playing that. But I do think that the comp changes from the Goobers is interesting to put out the Stamper with the Crab to go fast in response, but they're going 2 down again, and the Stamper's in a fight that they cannot lose right now. As they're 2 down, they do lose. That's a long wipe. Rainy will get picked, but I mean, you gotta stop trading. At some point, they get uncleanly picked again, and Opti is looking to just grind out to farm these members who are dropping in, but just the Hydra. You gotta roll in now, try and flip this zone. They're gonna get the jumps back into the Hydra, so you have to be careful about that. Capping the zone, good. Should be your top priority there. But already, oh my gosh, we blinked and they're 2 down again.
Yeah, it was really, really important that they capped just to be able to have a second to breathe. But yeah, just little pushes in zones are not gonna help you. You need sustained pushes, and getting all the way down to 18 is pretty good. Like Humpback, no lead is safe on Mahi zones. It could get flipped and things could go down, but 18's a pretty good spot to be at.
Kanai is going to start it off nicely with Azuka, trying to poke in on the roller, who will flip that around and trade it out. D getting a second one, but traded back out by the Stamper. Now trades are going to be working in the Goober's favor now, but Azuka from the side of turn left is going to be able to help flip it right on back. 3 will go down. Now just Kanai is up left in this corner. They do not see them, but it is crucial that you don't stagger your team here. Kanai taking a fight when they're 3 down. They lose the fight. Rose, that could be devastating.
That could be, because the penalty time's going down. You know, some people don't realize that's actually not seconds. It's closer to like half seconds. So they've got to get in now, and they've got to make sure they all go in together and don't stagger. Getting a pick on Opti is huge. That's really big. Honestly, the one downside of turn left is that they don't have a lot of paint. So if they are able to get crucial people down, the Goobers can flip it back.
Oh, look at this. Just like you said, a nice pick by Doofy followed by the bubble will flip that zone back. The Booyah not really able to do too much. You want to maintain this cap here as they're all bundled on the right. But again, the Goobers go 2 down as it seems as though they just are not able to target select at the right time on all these midline options that turn left have to face them.
Yeah, you know, having range over your opponents is a huge advantage. You know, if they're not able to navigate around you and get the jump on you to use their mobility over your range, like, you can just lock them out. Like, we see Opti here is making sure to guard these ledges, keeps them coming in, really made sure that Crab couldn't do anything, even gets the pick. And it's just the V-shot with Azuka, but then the V-shot goes down.
What is Opti doing over here? I think that just won them the game, as I think Opti just got a triple as well, as the tent will go down off screen, but the zone isn't being challenged, and turn left is going to cruise to a 2-1 advantage. They seemed completely unbothered by the fact that they lost that previous game, and that was a dominant showing by them here in game 3.
They held that so well. Opti's Dynamo game is really good. I haven't actually played against Dynamo on Mahi zones a whole lot, and I'm a believer watching that, just camping those ledges and being like, nah, you can't come in.
So
yeah, yo, what the heck?
We recently had a coaching with Pika, top player Pika, and one thing that they said was that this area right here, this ledge on Mahi zones, mop them right on up. Now, neither of these teams are comprised of noobs. I want to make that clear. But what is clear is that Turn Left was able to execute that plan, which you can do when people freak out on Mahi zones.
It's easy to freak out.
So that is kind of like, it's so easy to freak out.
You see the timer going down, and it's really easy to stagger there because like you don't have that much space, and you also want to make sure like, well, I want to paint up so I can get my specials in, but if the enemy team is coming in on you, you're just like, it's super easy to be like, oh no, the timer's going down. I don't have any space to paint. I need to just go in and try to make a hero play, which is also a bad move.
Agreed completely. But hey, when we saw the Goobers play that game 2 with the Wellstring coming out, which I would like to see come back, they were a completely different team. So what kinds of changes do you think we're going to see here in Clams Barnacle?
I do hope that Wellstring comes in on Clams Barnacle and is able to help control space really, really well. Barnacle is a key thing to do is don't wipe, don't stagger. Because again, it's not a very large map, and Clams is a tough mode. It's hard to make sure you're timing your pushes correctly. You've got to go in when you see people are down. You've also got the clam economy is a huge deal. Make sure you have enough clams so that when you do get player advantage, you can take advantage of that immediately.
Oh, looks as though we have slight DC troubles there. Not too sure if that was a host DC or what may have happened there. We will keep you guys updated on the situation.
It's just a classic Splatoon 3 moment.
Oh, it happens.
We've been there.
The classic Nintendo moment. You know, Nintendo's servers, otherwise known as the players, are just so strong that this rarely, if ever, happens, folks, believe it or not.
I've definitely never seen this occur ever before. First time for everything.
Well, either way, we will keep you guys updated on what the situation is. If this was perhaps a replay scenario, if this is maybe just technical difficulties, if the score is changing in any way, we will keep you guys updated. But in the meantime, we can keep talking about Barnacle, because I agree with you, Rose, that, Barnacle, if you get wiped once, a talented team can be up in your base just off of that.
And it's really easy to freak out. I see like Mahi and Barnacle and even Inkblot, a lot of these like smaller, more focused maps really make it easy when you are losing to freak out and get snowballed. So if whenever either team sees themselves in a losing scenario and there are a lot of points being scored on them, hopefully they'll remember, take a breath, go in together, don't all drop one by one and get picked off by somebody on the other team. What are some key things that either team should remember for Barnacle Clams in your opinion?
Well, this one is so crucial if you're operating between the snipes. Now, the snipe is that area that's, we call it a snipe, but it's really only slightly raised behind the mid. It's very accessible from mid, but the entirety of mid itself is kind of a death zone, right? Like you want to be operating from snipe to snipe, kind of picking at each other with specials. That's something that I think both of these teams are going to succeed at quite a bit, actually, with the Wellstring, with the Dynamo, with the Blaster, with the mid line that they have. They won't have any problem doing that. So a lot of this match, I think, is going to come down to positioning. Who's positioning better? Who's moving off of Juice, Zuka, etc. better than the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. And if one team is able to really control clams, like even if you go down, if you were holding a lot of the clams and the other team doesn't have clams ready for a push, just being able to stall them out can be really advantageous.
Game number 4 here. Now, Ludi rules dictate that a lobby DC in the first 30 seconds is not a penalty or replay. Actually, I don't believe a host DC is in most cases. So we are still proceeding. Both teams have their replay with the Goobers in the green, Turn Left in the pink, and I'm seeing a T-Tech. I'm seeing an edit as well.
Seeing very little range on the side of the Goobers. Longest range they've got is that Stamper. Otherwise, it's very, very scrappy. It's going to be, honestly, maybe not a bad choice against the much slower but defensively strong Turn Left team.
Yeah, it didn't really work for them too well in Mahi with having the lesser range. But, ooh, nice pick by Kanai. There is something to be said for it having potentially better success in Barnacle, as we see Ryan kind of pressing up with the shot, as well as the Dynamo. Look at that dynamic duo over there trying to creep up together, but we are mostly still in neutral for now. Rose, do you think that keeping off of this Wellstring from the Goobers is the right move, or did they make a mistake here, Michael?
I think it might be okay. I was really concerned about, them going down to that roller, but that doesn't seem to be a problem this time. So I do really like Wellstring, but it looks like things are just going back and forth. Not too uncommon for Clams games right now. We're over a minute into this. Neither team's really made a push, but Turn Left has 15 Clams, and they did go down one, but they've got Cooler out. They've got a Crab at the ready. They could go in. 2 people are down on the side of the Goobers.
Oh my goodness. Can't quite get this brush. I think the brush for the Goobers just got a double. The shot sweeping in to get a third. And now the Edit's the last one left. They are getting jumps in, but the brush is going to flank and get Lepus. And it looks like it is all Goobers as another one goes down in the pit. And Kanai is looking to push forward, trying to hammer in. Now, they don't quite have the Clams that Turn Left did a moment ago, but they are getting the picks.
Yeah, you see this Brush dancing around. Brush can do some really silly things in Clam Blitz with that massive amounts of run speed while rolling at that Brush. The Brush could just slip in.
Oh, as we see it do there, the Brush will be able to slip in and get that opening score. It will remain to be seen if more Clams will come, a couple more. Now, the goal that you're trying to get under is 60 here, but of course you don't want to throw away your advantage to do that, which it seems as though the Zap will do, scampering back and leaving it at 68. But Rose, that is not enough to win on this one.
Oh, no. Honestly, you got to make big numbers a lot of the times in Clams Barnacle. But it looks like neither team is giving up right now. Kanai on that Brush is making some big moves, going around, trying to pick off this heavy edit. Unfortunately, does go down, taking a fight against the heavy edit, especially when somebody comes to the rescue of the heavy edit, is really, really tough to do.
Yeah, I bet Lepus was probably like, please, 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 don't let the Brush kill me again.
Help me, help me, help me.
Guy's going crazy. Yeah, as we see Azuka from Rainy coming out, trying to find something to break neutral once again here. One member of the Goobers will go down. 2 specials ready for Turn Left. You have to think those will be popped relatively soon here. 1 Zuka coming out. The Stamp getting a nice pick there to keep things in neutral. The Tent going down off of your screens there. But man, even though we're in neutral, this is still all ink advantage for Turn Left.
Yeah, and that's huge. And they have a lot of Clams right now, so they could be going in for a big push now. Kanai able to pick one off with that hammer, doesn't get any more with it, and does go down with that Stamper. So now would possibly be a good time to start controlling some space. Opti's getting ready, has that power clam. The Crab comes out. I'm waiting for Turn Left to go in. It looks like now is the time, but there's a lot of pain over there.
And it looks like they got stuffed at the basket. They were able to get the power clam in, but look at all this green. They were able to withstand the Crab, to push out with their strikes. Really nice use of defensive strikes there. And 80 is all that Turn Left is going to get. Now, David winning a crucial fight there, perhaps a bit overextended, but it didn't matter because they won the fight. And now the Goobers are going to be setting up defensively for the final minute. They're able to pick the tent. Turn Left has another power clam at the ready. 1 Stamper goes down for Goobers. They're going to be coolered up on the side of Turn Left. What do they have to do to flip this to a dub?
They've really got to make sure they've got pain control. And 2 going down on the Goober side. This is a good chance. They've got 2 power clams ready for Turn Left. Prince is doing their best to hold it here. Stamper's really, really powerful weapon, but with specials coming out, Prince has to hide right now.
We do see a hammer coming out. The basket is opened. Just 1 clam is needed. That power, is going to be killed by the hammer just in the nick of time. The strikes coming out to ensure it. Man, can we talk about the beautiful slow strikes that took the entire length of the basket, and now 3 are down. Turn Left was not quite able to get the push they needed. However, 1 power back and they can win it, but they do not have the time, and the Goobers will tie things up at 2.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, they would have gotten the lead if they'd been able to throw in that second power clam on that last push. But those strikes and just the paint control in front of their basket was enough to hold them off. And that was huge because then throwing that power clam, not being able to get it in, they went all the way down to, I think, 2 clams it was, with very few seconds left to build another.
Yeah, they did make it a little tough, and I think that what we're seeing here, we're going to see this really clutch hammer to stop the second power climb again. The crab helps you get in one, and then, well, yeah, there's the one, and then the hammer we're going to see towards the top. Now, when I was originally watching this, I thought the hammer missed.
Me
I don't
too.
know quite how Opti died. It looks as though maybe it could have been the stamper coming in instead of the hammer, but either way, they knew the value of that power climb for the Goobers did, rather, and was able to get that stop there. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is that when you are trying to make this overtime push, like we've seen both teams kind of scamper and have good defense at times, but also when they're behind, they kind of tend to get a little bit frantic sometimes. Now, on tower control ship shape, how do you avoid that? What's your mental state going into this? What's the main mistake that you cannot make to avoid that on a map mode?
You need to take a deep breath before ship shape cargo. It's close now. We're tied at 2-2. This is a best of 9. They don't need to panic just yet. And panicking is a major downfall. Ship shape tower. A lot of these maps we've seen are very snowballing. Ship shape tower is one of those snowballing maps, and just making sure not to panic, have people in the right positions, push in when you're ready, because otherwise, if you lose that last checkpoint, it is almost certainly game over for you.
Now, one thing that could be game over, we've seen the Goobers do so well when they have a hammer option, but now they don't. They're opting for the double shot instead. Meanwhile, we're going a little bit faster with the Drapid for turn left and the shotgun.
Yeah, we're already scrapping. It's now been 15 seconds. We already had the shot go down on the side of Goobers. Ryan's lurking in, playing a little bit carefully, able to turn this into a 2v1 situation to get numbers advantage over on the Goobers, and this is the start of turn left's push.
Yeah, we love to see it here. The strikes as well were so good last game, and to see them kind of work off them again is nice, as Opti will retain the tower, which is interesting given all this pink in the area here. The tower looks like it's the furthest front. Will get punished for that. The Zuka finding a second one. The Booyah coming in. Oh my goodness, I thought the Zuka was about to pick that Hydra there, but Kanai not able to find 3. As still neither team has really had a definitive push here. 2 will go down for the Goobers. I'd be hopping off this tower, as it looks like turn left is going to have another chance here.
Yeah, Kanai is able to regroup with David. That's going to be very helpful for them, but still, they're in a risky team fight situation. Kanai going down. This is a good chance for turn left to break this checkpoint. And with coolers coming out, they're juiced. They're able to start pushing in. That inkjet coming in, able to push them back, be able to get some space for that tower rider to push that tower forward.
That's a beautiful position for that pack, in a place that if you want to chase it, it's such a high commitment area. As you see the Zuka from turn left getting a pick, Kanai getting a trade. You got to get out of the way of this Booyah. You got to rush down the strap and able to get it. Trying to go defend this tower again. Lepus will jump away. Not sure where the last one is, but a nice stop there at 35. And I like asking this question every time because I like seeing everybody's thoughts on it. But Rose, is 35 enough to win?
Oh, no. Honestly, if they broke that last checkpoint, I think they could feel a little bit better, but I never feel safe until that knockout on this map in particular.
2 will go down for the Goobers once again. Lepus trying to just put down some pressure here on the Hydra again. Love to see that pick coming out. Now, it looks like the numbers for turn left aren't quite equalizing, so they're going to have to be careful of how they take their next fights here. As Rainey is trying to press up, trying to dodge the Zuka. Look at all this ink that they're losing in their court, as Kanai's going to be creeping forward. Rainey forced all the way back. That tower and the strikes and the Booyah pressing this Hydra back away from where it wants to be. But the shot for the Goobers will go down. That could even be the end of their push, something as minor as that.
Yeah, you see, I'm a little scared for Doofy trying to... Oh, yeah, gets punished for trying to push that tower a little bit forward without clearing the space in front of it.
Yeah, it seems as though that we need to check boxes a little more thoroughly, which is okay, because both teams have shown that they are capable of doing that. But the Dynamo pressing up once again with tower, throwing out the juice. The strike's going to be forcing Opti off, but 2 will go down for the Goobers, and the push will continue for turn left.
Yeah, they can keep going forward. I just want to throw that Booyah forward, start pushing them away. If they can get somebody in that bats area as they clear that second checkpoint and then hold that space to get that third checkpoint, we could see turn left really push through.
I think we just saw really nice gameplay on both sides. Turn left knew that they had to hit that top right area, but then the Goobers were able to pick the pack, pick the booyah, pick a couple other things, so they stopped at a 23 with a really nice defensive stop. But man, they've got a mountain to climb in the final 80 seconds.
They do. It's going to be tough just with the time that they have. But getting a Zuka pick, that's going to be helpful. Hopefully able to pick off that Dynamo. Does get the trade on it, and 3 went down on the side of turn left.
Yeah, effectively a wipe with the rainy jump out. Now you're going to want to go up and secure that top right area with your next special so you can ride that tower to a lead. You don't want to have that on the opposing side while you're ready to go. Strikes ever so slightly misplaced because there's still members up there as Prince is going to be riding this tower forward, but the Hydra will go down. Azuka coming up to try and get somebody up in that corner. They don't quite have the lead yet. Kanai, this is the crucial fight here. A trade out on tower. Only the T-Tech is left.
Doofy.
Doofy, you got to be the one to go get that lead, my friend. They're able to get one. The jumps are coming in for Doofy. The strikes are going to come out. Don't let that tower get too far away, but Doofy is traded out right there.
Yeah, I understand the desire to strike there. For whenever I do play T-Tech here, sometimes you do feel like, oh, I need to keep this tower from going too far away. But yeah, you are so vulnerable when you throw those strikes. That may have been a misplay.
I think so too, but now your game plan, if you're the Goobers, is pick the Hydra at all costs. That Hydra can end the game whenever it gets a special. We do see the strikes coming out. The Hydra will go down as numbers advantage stay with the Goobers, and we see Prince up in that top right corner. It is with a Zipcaster. They're able to get one. They need to get another body up in there, but that Dynamo is going to try and clear tower, but the Goobers will stay alive and take the lead, and the lead in the set as they flip it to 3-2.
Wow, yeah, I was really scared for the Goobers there when I saw Opti on turn left with that Dynamo in that top right area, ready to pick off people on that tower. But just the flicks on Dynamo sometimes are just a little bit unreliable from one above, and the Goobers was able to stay alive just long enough to get that lead.
I think the crucial thing here too is I want to see who gets the Hydra, because without the Hydra going down, none of this happens. So we see it looks like it may have been Kanai kind of rushing in to try. Yeah, look at this, Lepus. You can't beat that if you're the GG, my friend. There's 3 seconds left as we see the Zipcaster coming up here too. Now, I thought that it was a mistake by the Goobers to not toss another body, either the Zap or the T-Tech, to rush down and trade the Dynamo. I thought, well, that's it. The Dynamo just clears, but no. The Goobers were able to dance around that pillar for just long enough to be able to take the lead. What an insane push we saw from them. And I mean, we saw dominant stretches of play from both teams in that game. What a game. What a set.
They both played really well. Like, I mean, you know, obviously if you lose that game, you're disappointed. But honestly, I think both teams played really well. That was really close.
Hey, but in these close games that we saw the Goobers had last week against Sparkling Sea, it is the team that wins the close games that will often win the close sets. Let's see if they can keep it up now in Game 6. As the other thing that I like to talk about is how often you can, like, how good you are at a certain mode and if you can replicate that. Now, Tower, we've seen each team win a game of Tower. In Rainmaker, as we're moving to Museum di Alfonsino, we saw a pretty dominant Rainmaker game by the Goobers. Do you think we can see a repeat performance?
I sure hope so, because they're going to want to keep taking this further.
We see the Hydra coming back out. Ooh, they're going a little bit away from that Molasses comp, doing 2 shooters with the Dynamo and Hydra combo. We do see the Brush Hammer coming back out again from Kanai, which I love.
Yeah, that quick respawn brush. You see Kanai's already getting ready to dip and dive anywhere. Oh, does go down on the side of the Goobers. Hydra does go down on side of turn left. It's only the T-Tech still alive. They take off Doofy. Remember, that's Commentator's curse. Opti's gonna go and get that free dunk.
And you know what we saw in the opening too is we saw a right drop Hydra from Lepus, which was what caught everybody in mid unawares. But Kanai is able to go in and get 2. However, the rain is still up, kind of just squid flopping their way to a 45 is David. And we both know, without even asking the question, 45 is not enough to do it here.
Oh no, Doofy is able to drop that able to buy some time. Kanai, oh, huge, be able to come in. It's gonna dive up ahead, try to pick off. This is a pretty good spot if you want to be the brush, trying to pick them off. Does need a little bit more paint to make some more use. Are they gonna go in from the spinner?
And I think this is a little too hasty here. You're putting the Rain in a tough, vulnerable position as 2 will go down for the Goobers. This Crab v Crab duel here will kind of stay in neutral. A nice pick by Rainy with the Burst Bomb chip here. The gas to slow it down. I love that as well. But Rose, as we have developed into this set, who do you think has shown themselves to be the MVP so far? And who do you think is going to be the X factor in this one?
I mean, Kanai on the side of the Goobers, I think, has been doing a good job of poking, but Lepus on this Hydra has just been able to, like, actually, like, make really good use of that massive range the Hydra has on this larger stage and be able to control that space.
We'll go down for the Goobers as Ryan is trying to cancel out this Crab, winning a nice fight against the Stamper. This is going to give a pretty good advantage for numbers for turn left. However, Kanai rushing in, trying to get one. Oh my gosh, trades out another. A nice double from Kanai. We just mentioned how solid they've been the whole time as David is trying to contest a jump here in mid. Ooh, a little bit hasty by Lepus. It's going to give numbers back to the Goobers. Now, they haven't broken the check yet. How crucial is that with the game about halfway done?
They're going to need to get that check soon. They are coolered. They can get this pop and, most importantly, control the enemy's plat before you go in. That Crab's going to be really, really helpful pushing people back. We need some more bodies, though, pushing up forward to help out Prince.
Yeah, I'm with you. We see the strikes, we see the Crab. We don't see a lot of movement off of those, though, as Lepus will try to be shoved back by this Rain. A trade there. You cannot go into Lepus's range, though. That Hydra is sneakily long as it is able to get the Rain pick, the Crab as well. And I think that another thing we have to mention is the splash pick. At times, it does still keep this molasses comp for turn left, right? Because if you have a Crab, a Hydra, and a Dynamo all out at once, that's a tough wall to climb.
That is. Turn left has a lot of range here. Like, we've got a Crab out on the side of the Goobers, but turn left has been able to make use of their range really, really well. And I guess I'm not too surprised. This is Museum.
Yeah, definitely Rain can't find a home here. Holy smokes. And that's going to be a wide open street for turn left. However, they take it a little too quickly, gaining only 1 point off of that. The Goobers are able to shut that down, getting 3. Opti will trade one back, but you gotta, oh my goodness, do not let them sneak this Rainmaker. Opti, the last one, decided to get 12 more points. I can't believe that just happened.
That you never expect the sneaky Dynamo.
You never do. Some of these players are ninjas who should not be ninjas. But either way, David here is rolling forwards now with 1 minute left as the Goobers. You have to break this check. Very soon. How do you do it?
Oh, yeah, honestly, like, it's really hard to fight against this Crab and Hydra and Dynamo. You really have to go in together and try to really take advantage of whenever turn left is caught out of position. And in order to force them out of position, you need to get your specials ready. We only have 30 seconds left. The Goobers have not broken check yet.
Yeah, this is looking a little dangerous for them as we do see the Crab at the ready. Oh, you know that the Sword wanted the Crab on that top mid, but they took it a little preemptively. Kanai is trying to get a fight, can't quite find something advantageous. Will scamper backwards here as things are still mostly neutral. The Ink, though, is slowly moving in favor of turn left, which is not what you want, but Kanai running away, trying to get one. The hammer, will get stuffed, and that could be the game right there as the Goobers go 2 down with only a few seconds left. The Rain in a very tough spot for them. It's being guarded, not grabbed in time, and we are tied up again at 3.
Ready to see this go to 9 games.
I am too. I think it can happen. I think we're going to get 2 straight 9-game sets from the Goobers. We'll see how it turns out. But Rose, we have seen, I think, probably one of the most even performances we've seen all season with, like, the modes have been flipped, right? Like, no team has a set advantage state in one mode that they're gunning for. Tower has been won by each side. Rain has been won by each side. We've seen some really even matches here. What do you think we're going to see for Zones Hag?
Ooh, Zones Haggle, honestly, having that range advantage, if much. Turn Left is going to be running something similar to this and making sure they're making use of their range over the Goobers. I could see them pulling off a win on the Hagglefish zones pretty well.
I am excited to see what we'll see, right? Because, like you said, I think that's going to be a powerful advantage for them. But, on the other hand, Turn Left just had such a dominant game on Mahi, but that, as we've seen, that hasn't really been a predictor. Like, the one team will win one tower game and lose the next. So who knows how these teams are going to adjust to Hagglefish. Do you think we're going to see any major comp changes? Is this going to be a hammer game for the Goobers, yes or no?
I feel like Hammers have been pretty good. Hammers I call it an inconsistent special. Sometimes I feel like it works really, really well. Sometimes you feel like you should have gotten a pick when you didn't. Sometimes it feels like your hammer should have blocked some shots from somebody firing at you head on. Sometimes it doesn't end up doing it. It's just sort of the nature of the way the special is designed to get somebody who plays a lot of Reef Slider. I'm very familiar with sometimes feeling like your special needs needs a little bit of help. But Kanai's been really, really good with the hammer nonetheless.
Oh, agreed completely. It's been truly wonderful to see. However, it looks like we are going off the hammer for the Goobers, back to that V-Roller comp, and back to our nice, slow, grindy molasses comp. Now, I say molasses comp, that's not a negative connotation. I love this comp from Turn Left, and I think it's super fun to only run with the one shot. Rose, I think it's working.
Yeah, honestly, like, I would be concerned that they don't have enough paint, but just they've been doing a good job of, making sure that whenever that shot is up, that shot is painting. And a shot over on the side of the Goobers, honestly, switching off of the brush the shot, maybe not such a bad idea to be able to hit those Zuka shots against the Hydra.
Sure, the Hydra and the Dynamo, if we're going to see it setting up on the back glass there, as one, Kanai will try and rush in and make something happen, not quite able to. And you got to think that the Goobers are brainstorming, how do we crack this wall? Because once this wall is cracked, you have to think that the numbers are going to flip quickly in their advantage, but a trade out happening will keep zone in the hands of Turn Left, and they've still got their wall online. Ooh, a nice Zuka pick from Kanai.
There, gets that pick on that Hydra. Oh, okay, so they are cooler. They're able to go in. Really, really need to get control of zone, and then more importantly, get specials up to force Turn Left to stay back and burn their own specials.
Man, look at this. Even with the bubble, it took Doofy quite a while to flip zone in a 4v2 advantage state. But the Hydra is able to pick the Stamper. Rainy's going to come right back and try and flip it back, getting another. Another one goes down with the Zuka, and Rainy looking for the last one. Not quite able to get it, but that player is forced to scamper back up the switch. And this penalty is going to be gone in a flash.
Yeah, and it is gone, and they're able to start getting points in now. The Goobers needs to make sure not to panic. They have a cooler out. Prince trying to get a pick on that tent. Gonna be pretty tough. Ryan coming in, turning that 1v1 into a 2v2.
I love the way that Ryan plays around these midline weapons, right? The way that Ryan has been helping the Dynamo, helping the tent push up and move. But 3 will go down for Turn Left, as it looks as though the Goobers are now in a similar position. 35, a number it seems like we've seen so often today, is the push for Turn Left, and the distance is going to get real low between those two.
Yeah, and there are no penalty points for the Goobers. They're just ticking time down. It's going by really, really quickly. Able to get a really, really good pick. That Stamper, you think it might not have a lot of range, but it really, really does. Lepus trying to just get stuff ready. Has a Booyah ready, throwing it in. Zuka's coming out. All of the specials are coming out on Turn Left side. Unfortunately, they do lose that penalty. The Goobers do have lead, and they are able to maintain the zone long enough to get to 29. Are they going to get it back? No, goes to Turn Left, able to put penalty points on the side of the Goobers. But what does Turn Left have to do to get the lead back, do you think?
they've had really good special play, right? They've had good Zukas, they've had good Booyahs. We saw it there where they were able to get the flip. But then the crucial mistake that they cannot make with this Molasses comp is they cannot go too far ahead of their means because they can't move as fast as other teams can just by the nature of their weapons, right? So it looks like they're still holding on to zone right now, but they have to be very careful. They kind of just have to play for zone and can't play for the next fight, but two will go down off screen, one via Zuka, one via something else, and control is going to be flicked back to the Goobers.
Yeah, I thought turn left was going to be really dominant with their range, but the Goobers have been making really, really good use of their speed and mobility. And even though this is a big map that certainly can favor those longer range players, that Splat Roller able to, guard some of these ledges and whatnot, poke turn left to scatter and whatnot. Doofy's really doing all they can. Able to go in maybe for a flank, could catch turn left off guard.
Nice Zuka double, I believe, by Ryan is able to keep the zone in their favor. And now it looks like the Goobers are on the precipice of losing this lead, but the Dynamo will go down. Doofy is trying to fight one in the corner here. You have to flip this zone back if you can. The Booyah, though, is... Oh, can't quite put it the other direction as the tempo
it's going
down.
back.
40 seconds left, and the Goobers get the cap. They go 2 down, but that was well worth it because it gives you time to reset. Now, Doofy, you got to get back. You got to allow your team to reset. This Zuka may be coming out a little bit preemptively.
Yeah. If you're the Goobers, you're probably panicking right now. Doofy trying to get picks in, but unfortunately just had too much damage. Some of that fall off, able to take them out. Prince is biding their time. They're really going to have to get this zone flip, but they don't want to rush it.
And again, you see David getting rushed down by the tent and wisely says, I'm going to run away and let my teammates kill it. But unfortunately runs into the Hydra as just the stamp is left. And this is an almost certain lead flip. Whoa, the zone was neutralized. What happened? They were 3 down. The bomb's coming out. 1 second left. Overtime. And turn left is able to sneak it through at the very first few frames of overtime. And they are up 4-3.
That was, wow. Sometimes timing that when it's that close and you are able to just get that lead in right at the end or right as overtime starts, just completely doesn't let the other team respond.
Yeah, that was a strong performance, and I think it's notable for us to mention that this is the first time as we advance towards the later stages of this set, right, that a team has won both games on a certain mode. This is a huge moment for Turn Left to stabilize themselves, to show we can win both zone games, to kind of stop the flip-flopping that was happening, and now we see them on match point.
Yeah, if you're at match point, you can, it's not super breathe easy, but you can, you do have a little bit of mental stability you can give yourself to be like, okay, just one more. And then there's also just, the excitement of winning in overtime is huge for your mental going into the next game on Inkblot Art Academy. What are we going to see on this Clams game?
So I'm excited, right? Because this was the game, if I'm not mistaken, where the Kanai Brush Hammer made its debut in this set. Not until game 4 did we see it, if I'm remembering correctly. And that was a game where the Goobers were just able to get some nice pushes, and then we just saw them have just that absolutely terrific defense. It didn't matter what Turn Left threw at them, whether it was crabs, whether it was Zipcast, or whatever the case may be. They were just able to stop it in its tracks. So I think that this is going to be yet another opportunity for the Goobers to say, okay, we took this one earlier. We are going to try and take both games of Clam Blitz to even this up and send it to a game 9. The pressure is on them for sure, but I do think that this map can favor their comp.
And they've been in a similar position before. They've gone to game 9s before, so we know, they have the stamina. Even if they're behind, they're not necessarily going to completely panic and go, oh no, we can't do this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, they might be panicking, but they're not letting it change their skill levels, I guess. As we see the Wellstring coming back out for the first time in a while from Turn Left. Rose, what do you think about that?
You know what? I think Doofy's been really hassling them with that roller and bringing the Wellstring back, especially on this map with all of these ledges. Lepus is going to really want to keep an eye on where the enemy team is at all times.
Yeah, I love it. It's notably not the hammer one that we saw earlier, but I think that you're right. They are just looking to get many, many more ways to identify where Doofy is, as we do see some members being traded out early on. Early slight advantage to Turn Left. because I don't think they see Ryan sharking here in the corner. Can't quite tell how that resolved on the side. I think one of the dualies went down on turn left as Doofy's going to be rolling forwards. And man, the basket's already broken. 3 are down for turn left. They don't quite have the clams to make this a devastating push, but the Goobers with the early aggression.
Yeah, and Prince was poking in for a second again with Doofy, but does have to back out now, realizes, oh, no. I cannot push this all on my own.
Yeah, wants to be nowhere by that wellstring, but now they do have a Zipcaster. You may want to wait until the crab's done, but that's an avenue that you can use to get in on some of these longer range weapons.
We've got a lot of specials charged up for the Goobers right now. Zap does go down. That's going to be really, really good. I don't know that they were able to get their cooler out. Whereas turn left does have their cooler available. Ranny going in, painting up. They got that pick on Prince. Zuka not able to get anything, but Kanai is holding that flat area, not letting turn left get in. But here's Opti, and Kanai does call them out and stops them and say, no, you cannot get up here.
Yeah, that was a bold fight to take defensively, but Kanai proving why they took it because they knew that they could win. As the cooler coming back out from turn left, things are still in neutral, but the clam economy is kind of shifting back towards the Goobers. They've got a power and quite a few to boot. Doofy has that bubble that you know they're going to want to use if they can get some picks in here. A crucial fight, picking Ranny cleanly is going to kind of really put the pressure on turn left here.
Yeah, and even, sometimes just holding a power clam and having a lot of clams available on the UI that the enemy can see can really psych him out and just know that, like, hey, we're ready to push in.
Yeah, and it does look as though from whenever we pan over to the front lines of the Goobers, they are struggling to move around Lepus right now in a way that I don't think they were when Lepus was playing the Hydra. So we see the Zipcaster coming out there to try and move it. It'll move it, but it won't pick it. A nice defensive pick by the Goobers, though, to kind of retain neutral here. But the Dynamo will trade that back out, and man, they're still not able to crack the code of this Wellstring.
Wellstring can be really, really hard to fight against. You think, it's going to operate exactly like Wellstring, but it really does not with those two different, essentially firing modes, depending on how long you charge it, whether it's going to be super close-up shots or really spread out.
There's a nice trade over there as we're still kind of 2v2. Prince is, knows that they need to be patient here, that they already have the lead. They want more, but they don't want to give up advantage to get it. We see that Zipcaster at the ready once again. When they have a chance to get in on the Wellstring, they may, but 2 will go down for the Goobers. Ryan, with a crucial fight here, is going to opt to back away against the Stamper. They aren't quite able to get in yet, but Ryan, finding an opening, strikes as well. They don't quite have the power clam up front yet. They're passing to each other, looking to get the score in, forcing a jump out. But man, turn left has a lot of clams at the ready.
They do. They really need to get in and start scoring those clams. And here we go. We've got their first clams coming in, down to 74. They have more clams to throw in. And 2 people down on the side of the Goobers. That's going to be huge for turn left, already getting all the way down to 50.
Yeah, not bad. Nice sustainability for them as Ryan does go down. You got to think that that's probably the end of their push there. Now, taking a look, only a minute left. You've got to get power. You've got to get 2 powers to tie the game and then another clam. So you're aiming kind of for a big push for the Goobers to be able to take this one and to force that game 9. Rose, what's the key to making a good play here?
They need to have those specials ready. I say that Dynamo being down right now and the bow being down, unfortunately, people also went down on the side of the Goobers. Ryan's crab really able to push them back. It's tough if you're the Goobers right now. They've got to make sure that they have clams. They really, really need more. Turn left is doing a really good job of just holding clams right now. But that Zuka pick, really, really big. If they're able to get Lepus out, unfortunately, no, missing that shot. Kanai's trying to hold space. They're going to really, really need to push in. Doofy's got clams at the ready. Power Clam is going to call out where they are, but if they're able to just get in, unfortunately goes down, was able to get the bubble out, but strikes are coming out, and I don't know that they're going to be able to get in.
Yeah, going 2 down and kind of marking yourself with a clam with that bubble at the ready was, I think, not the move, as that'll be 3 down for the Goobers, a wipeout for the Goobers, and that is going to do it, folks. What a terrific set that we just saw, but turn left is going to take it with a 5-3 victory. The Goobers were able to make them bleed a little bit, to kind of punch them up, rough them up a little bit. But in the end, it's Turn Left who will advance to a 4-0 record in their group. It looks like they are going to playoffs for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I believe we can definitely count on them moving forward in their group in Division 9. But the Goobers finally able to make them lose some games in this set.
Yeah, it's a good sign that, hey, nobody is completely unbeatable. And we saw that today with the Goobers able to put forth a really, really strong effort. Man, I would have liked to see a little bit more hammer from them in some of these games. I'd have to look back. I don't think it's completely binary here, but the Goobers definitely had way more success when they were playing hammer versus when they were not playing hammer. So I think that, whatever magic secret sauce the hammer has, it was able to kind of stump Turn Left there. But in the end, Turn Left getting set up.
They did. We will not be seeing Manta Maria Tower, but both teams did really, really well here. We saw this went back and forth quite a bit until Turn Left really was able to seize momentum and get those game 6, 7, and 8 back to back, finally able to, like you said, get both those zones games finally and just be like, okay, we've got this. And once you get that momentum going, sometimes it is, if you're on the other side, you just like see that other team like getting game, you'd be like, oh no, what do we do?
Yeah, it can be tough to think of a counterplay. And I really think that in that game 8, that Lepus switching to that well string was so crucial to giving them success to shut down this frontline comp that the Goobers was going for. That was a huge pick there. But man, I'm just excited that one turned out as well as it did, considering that it was effectively the title game for that group. But, folks, we have more exciting matches coming up for you. If you want, hey, you got 2 monitors, you got a phone, put on SplatoonTourney 1, right? We've got matches going on there, and we've got more coming for you on this channel, too.
We do. OG SplatoonTourney.
OG. That's nice. Yeah. And what?
Man, that was a really, really good set. Thank you so much for having us, Seth.
I'm once again muted to the stream, but now I'm not, so that's great. And I'm glad that you all can hear me now, because I've said some really nice... Listen, I've been saying some really nice things to Sofa King and Rose all night. And now there's no proof. There's no proof.
There's no proof. Yeah, honestly...
There's no proof of you disparaging us and saying, like, can you guys, like, be a little more on top?
Can you, like, can you just be better, please?
The yawning that you're doing into your mic, yeah, we hear it. We hear it. They didn't, though.
No,
we heard it.
See, now we can just spread misinformation all we want now. Because nobody knew. But listen, you guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be heading on over to SplatoonTourney 1 for another set. However, Rose and Sofa, it's been such a pleasure to get to listen and to chat with you both, even if the stream has no idea that I was talking to you. But where could we find you guys on the social medias? Please let us know. Rose, we'll start with you.
If you were to go on the internet and find me, I am Rose of Battle in all of the places. I stream several times a week on Twitch, often with Splatoon. I'm on Blue Sky, YouTube, Twitter, all the places. And if you are a Gridlock this upcoming weekend, you can see me there as well. Please say hi. I will be competing with my team Malibu Rising, and likely you'll see me on the mic as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sofa King, where are you at? Where can I find you? If I open the webpage on my phone, where are you at?
Oh boy. Well, you can take a look at Twitter at Sofa King Stream, captain of the whip race. I will also be at Gridlock Rose, so I'm super excited for that. I'm going to be playing with a pickup with one whip ray and some other folks. So definitely look out for us there. And my little doggy is here too. We'll do a little dog cam here.
Dog reveal!
There she is.
Dog reveal!
This stream brought to you by Mitzi, the little beagle baby. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on again, of course, and I'm excited to stay tuned for the matches we have coming up later today.
Of course, of course. Now listen, you guys, join us for the raid over to Splatoon 21. The games are still going. We're still having a lot of fun. But for us, like I said on Splatoon Tourney, that is going to do it. But remember, we still have so much action coming for you in the coming weeks. We have now closed out week 4. We're going to go and break it down with Splatoon 21. But just remember, as always, we love you, we appreciate you, drink some water, eat some food, and we just love that you all like to have a good time with us. But most importantly and above all, you're watching Ludi tonight on Splatoon Tourney. We'll see you on Splatoon 21. Take care.